Let's quickly cut across to our big questions at the back of what has taken place today in West Bengal. Corruption crackdown or narrative building? You'll have the BJP who will have us believe that what is happening right now is an out-and-out corruption crackdown. You'll have the TMC saying nothing doing. This is narrative building 2 months before election. This is intimidation, not investigation. Have pre-poll raids lost credibility? And we'll tell you why some would think so. There's data to suggest the same. We're going to tell you. And it's a question that one can ponder on. Mamata's outburst to a bid to discredit the ED. She's not the first time that Mamata Banerjee has raised the flag against central agencies which she has claimed have been misused by the central government over years. Is the Bengal Chief Minister trying to block the ED probe? Well, that is what the ED has charged Mamata Banerjee with and is taking Mamata Banerjee to court tomorrow morning. Not that Mamata Banerjee isn't, because TMC has also gone to court, accusing the ED of stealing documents of the party, which is the political assets of the party. I-Pac has also gone to court, charging the ED of trespassing. Let's take all these questions, all these scenarios to our guests this evening. I have with me Satendra Singh, former Deputy Director, ED, Sanju Verma, National Spokesperson, Bharatiya Janata Party, Niladri Bhattacharya, political analyst, Mohammed Saleem, Senior Leader, CPI. I'd like to begin right now with former Deputy Director of ED, Mr. Satendra Singh. Mr. Singh, you know, the fact is, with what we have seen, especially where elections are bound, states which are election bound, we have seen. Now, nobody's questioning the motive of it, but we are just reporting what we've seen, which has been activity of central agencies. Therefore, the opposition raising the charge that this is all engineered. The larger question being, Mr. Singh, that are investigative agencies today losing credibility?
नमस्ते प्रीति जी, आपको और मेरे को-पैनलिस्ट को नमस्कार. Question is not of the credibility. Actually, the question is of timing of the action by agency. But question, if action is wrong or right, इस पे सवाल नहीं उठाया जा रहा है, टाइमिंग पे सवाल है. अब आप देखिए कोई इन्वेस्टिगेशन हो रहा है, उसमें पता लगता है कि ये ट्रेल मनी ट्रेल को फॉलो कर रहे हैं, कहां तक जा रही है, तो उस स्टेट जो एक्यूज है, यदि वो पॉलिटिशियन है या किसी पोस्ट पे, तो क्या ये वेट किया जाए कि वो इलेक्शन ओवर हो जाए तब उसके खिलाफ एक्शन लिया जाए? दिल्ली लीकर स्कैम में बार बार यही सवाल उठाया गया केजरीवाल जी के द्वारा. मुझे अभी गुजरात इलेक्शन में जाना है इसलिए मुझे बुला रहे, मुझे वहां जाना है इसलिए बुला रहे. तो क्या कोई उसके बाद जब वो केस चला, कोर्ट्स में चला, तो कहीं भी ये नहीं आया कि ईडी का एक्शन गलत था. टाइमिंग पे सवाल आप पॉलिटिकली उठा रहे हैं. देखिए पॉलिटिशियन की वर्किंग क्या है, 24/7. इलेक्शन भूल जाइए, इलेक्शन कई तरह के इलेक्शन होते हैं स्टेट में, पंचायत इलेक्शन भी होगा, पार्लियामेंट इलेक्शन भी होगा, कभी कुछ होगा. तो पॉलिटिक्स इज ए 24/7 बिजनेस. इसी तरह से जो इन्वेस्टिगेटिंग एजेंसीज है, दे आर ऑन द जॉब फॉर 24/7. एंड आईओ विल डिसाइड कि वह कब सर्च करेगा, कब जो सबसे ज्यादा चांसेज है कि वहां एविडेंस मिलने के. अभी कुछ को कह रहे थे कि बिना नोटिस दिए ईडी आ गई. नोटिस दे एक्यूज को पकड़ने के लिए नोटिस दिया जाता है. चलिए कोई बात नहीं. और आईपैक की जहां तक बात है, मैं उस पे आ रहा हूं, मुझे भी उतनी नॉलेज है जितनी मीडिया में है
जी.
देखिए ये केस पुराना है, लेकिन इसमें सर्चेज चलती रही. भी नवंबर मंथ में कुछ सर्चेज हुई जिसमें कुछ हवाला ऑपरेटर्स भी सामने आए जो इस मनी को रूट कर रहे थे, जो कि इलीगली कॉल बेचने से जो पैसा मिला, क्योंकि वो लीगल मनी नहीं था कि बैंकिंग ट्रांजैक्शन होते उसके जी. हवाला ऑपरेटर्स को जब देखा गया तो वहां से पता लगा कि आज ही ईडी की प्रेस नोट में कि टेंस ऑफ करोड़ रुपीस आईपैक को ट्रांसफर हुए. तो क्या इसको इन्वेस्टिगेशन नहीं किया जाए या वेट करते कि कब इलेक्शन ओवर हो जाएगा तब किया जाए?
और मैं आप कह रहे हैं कि उसमें कोई एक इन्वेस्टिगेशन है, वो चलता रहता है, टाइमिंग को लेकर क्वेश्चन लोग कर रहे हैं पर नहीं करना चाहिए, आप ये कह रहे हैं।
मैं एक चीज और कहना चाहूंगा, 39 इयर्स मैंने ईडी में सर्विस की है, हुआ है हमारे ऊपर भी अटैक भी हुए सर्चेज में, ये भी हुआ कि लोग अंदर घुस के डॉक्यूमेंट उठा के ले गए, इवन एक्यूज को छुड़ा के ले गए, लेकिन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल पोस्ट पे कोई बैठा हुआ ऐसा करे
तो वो दिक्कत है। चलिए, ये लेट्स टेक ऑल दीज क्वेश्चंस टू आवर let's take all these questions to our other panelists. Sanju Verma, lots of questions there. Nobody's questioning the motive of the ED, but for someone who loves numbers, and I'm very glad that you've come to my show after a very long time, Sanju Verma. So I'll go back into a little bit of history in terms of chronology. I'm not saying there is, and we'll ask our producers to play out those graphics in terms of how Sanju Verma, now is this divine intervention, or is this just timing, or is it just happenstance? That in the last 10 years, and Sanju Verma, me and my team have actually sat down and looked at data in the last 10 years. Every state that has gone into election, leave alone one, there has been central agency action in the 3 months preceding the polls.
Okay. Preeti, can I start?
Sure, ma'am.
Yes. Nice to be on your show after quite a bit. First, let me say that I was listening to Saugata Roy, and I was appalled at the language that he used. Third-class leadership of BJP. BJP is a third-class party. ED is an organization which is bunkum, bogus, baseless. I will not call Saugata Roy a third-class leader because he's 78 years old. He's a sitting member of parliament. But Saugata Roy was not speaking like a senior Trinamool Congress leader. Saugata Roy was speaking like a sadak chap. But I don't want to turn this debate into a sadak chap debate. Let me get to the moot point. Saugata Roy and the entire Trinamool bandwagon says, coal scam alag cheez hai, I-Pac is a different case. Why link the two? First thing that your audience needs to know is this. There is coal theft that is happening in Eastern Coal Fields Limited, which is situated in West Bengal. Coal stolen from Eastern Coal Fields is being supplied to factories in Bankura, Purulia, and Bardhaman. These factories are owned by whom? These factories are owned by Deepak Agarwal's company called Shakhambari Ispat and Power. Now, where does I-Pac come in? The money that is made by selling this illegal coal to the Shakhambara Ispat Power Group, that money is routed through a Hawala operator. Who is this Hawala operator? The man is Preeti Jain. Who is Preeti Jain? Preeti Jain is the Karta Dharta of I-Pac. How is Trinamool Congress related? I-Pac is now the political consultancy arm for all practical purposes of the TMC. So is there a link between TMC, between Deepak Agarwal, between Preeti Jain, between the stolen coal from Eastern Coal Fields and money laundering? Yes, there is a clear money laundering case that has been established. The third point which I want to make, Preeti, is very important. It is this. The most important reference point in any money laundering case is the Vijay Madanlal Choudhary versus Union of India case of 2022. The Supreme Court always says when there is confusion with respect to PMLA cases, refer to the Vijay Madanlal Choudhary case, where the Supreme Court has said, while section 16, 17, 18 of the PMLA, the ED has sweeping powers to conduct search and seizure operations. So if Mr. Saugata Roy says that the ED was trespassing, Mr. Saugata Roy has very poor knowledge of the law and needs to educate himself. The fourth point, any accusation under the PMLA, the burden of proof under section 24 lies with the person or entity that is accused. That is under section 24 of the PMLA. So it is not the ED which has to prove that it is doing its job well, which it is.
Fair point.
It is Preeti Jain who has to prove that there was no Hawala operation being run on TMC's behalf by him. And my final point is this. Under Section 19 of the PMLA, the investigative authority, in this case the ED, has to simply explain why a person has been investigated
Okay.
or arrested after
Okay.
24 hours of the arrest. In this case, arrest has not yet been made. So the
Right.
ED actually has acted very judiciously. And my final point, Preeti, is this. Mamata Banerjee is the same leader who on the 30th of December 2025 had the audacity to tell, "Arey, this Amit Shah is hiding in a hotel. Thank God we've not kidnapped him. Thank God he was allowed to hold a rally. If we wanted, he would not even have come out of his hotel." This is the sadak chap language used by Mamata Banerjee.
Okay.
She has forgotten. She is
All
no
right.
longer
Ma'am, allow me to bring in
protester.
our other
She is
panelists.
a
I want to come.
sitting chief minister.
Okay,
No,
ma'am, I want to
Preeti,
cut
1 minute.
across.
Preeti, just 5 seconds. You always
5
tell me,
seconds.
Sanju Verma, I love your debates. You always tell me, Sanju Verma, we need to maintain decorum. Tell me, calling the entire BJP leadership third class, Preeti, do you
Okay.
think Saugata Roy was right?
Ma'am, the point is what I think doesn't really matter, but I will circle back to the question that I asked you about. I will come back, ma'am. Allow me to expand the panel, and I'll circle back to the question that I asked you. Is it chronology? Is it just happens, or is it just timing? Is it happenstance that in the last 10 years, every state that has gone into election, save 2, have seen action of central agencies 2 to 3 months before elections? It's just trivia, a fact, which we'll come back to. Mohammed Saleem, senior leader, CPIM, thank you there for joining us. Mr. Saleem, what's the take of the CPIM on this? Because your own party have constantly criticized central agency misuse. Where does your party stand today, sir?
You have to make it very clear. Already, many people have pointed out, you yourself also, the timing. You are showing on the screen. Timing is important because, and then prosecution and conviction. So the ED or the CBI have lost its credibility, its public knowledge now. Because in Bengal, before this, there were the questions of this teachers recruitment scam, then this Narda, Sarda, cheat fund scam. But in so many cases, we have found that this drama, theater, high-pitched theater by BJP or TMC or the central government or the state government, there's nothing to do with the people's issues and concerns. You have seen ED and CBI raiding earlier, and this drama by Mamata Banerjee. When it was case of, you mentioned it, Rajiv Kumar's case, Mamata went there when he was the police commissioner. We have seen this when this case of Sandesh Khali. There also, when the CBI went, you have seen how these goons were mobilized and police was mobilized for the criminals. Mamata is famous for, as a chief minister, going to the public, police lockup, and snatching the culprits from the police custody. This is we have seen.
Okay, we are having a bit of a problem with the output of Mr. Mohammed Saleem. We're going to try and go back to that. But it's a tightrope walk for the left because political need to criticize Mamata Banerjee and the TMC, and then, of course, what the larger charge has been for them, which is taking on the central government on what they claim is misuse of central agencies. Niladri Bhattacharya ji, the fact is, one can look at the timing, criticize the timing. That doesn't change the nature of the case and the facts on paper. In this particular case, the charges are very, very strong in terms of how it all ties up together. The charge that coal scam money was routed through Hawala, through I-Pac, which is a consultancy, to fund a campaign in Goa for your party, the TMC. That's a grave charge, sir, which warrants an investigation. Why has it been brought up suddenly? Some would suggest it hasn't been brought up suddenly because the dots have always been there and they are being connected. You've had the likes of Abhishek Banerjee who've been questioned for years now on the coal scam with both the ED and the CBI. Sir, you're on mute.
It is not the TMC party which is on the dock. It is an investigation into a coal scam. The FIR is of 2020. All the accused are out on bail. And the timing, why it is very important, because we have seen that whenever, especially in Bengal and the non-BJP ruled states, just before the elections, these agencies like CBI, ED and other things, they just wake up. This file was in cold storage, and today morning they decided that we have to have a raid on I-Pac, because why? JP Nadda also arrived today morning to Calcutta. Please see the chronology. To quote the famous Home Minister, "Aap chronology samajhiye." JP Nadda arrives in Calcutta today, and today the ED raid starts. Mamata Banerjee is protesting on one thing, that you have a raid on I-Pac, but don't try to take away the internal strategies, the party documents of the TMC from I-Pac. I-Pac has everything, because I-Pac has been helping us since 2019 onwards. They have with tremendous success. This is a way narrative of the BJP to have a backdoor entry into the working of the TMC. See, this is a politically bankrupt party. They have realized that they cannot fight us politically.
But you know, Mr. Bhattacharya, I'm going to go back to our panelists and I'm going to give everyone, but I want to ask you one thing. You're saying it's a backdoor entry, but the sheer fact, for a chief minister, which is a constitutional post, you actually, you know, pun on backdoor entry, take the back door to a building which is being raided by a central investigative agency, and you walk out with files.
Preeti, don't see her as a chief minister,
done?
see her as the head of the party, and she's trying to protect her party documents. Why don't you see her?
I don't know how does, no, sir, I don't know how that helps.
You see that
that just makes it worse, I would think, because you're also the party president as well as the chief minister. I want to get final comments from all our panelists there. Sanju, Verma, I'll come back again. You know, let's say the facts of the case on paper are correct, but the timing of it, Sanju Verma, let me ask you the first question that I asked you. 10 years, every election, opposition parties to the BJP raided 2 or 3 months before an election. Documented facts, Sanju Verma.
Preeti, let's get one thing very clear. Is Arvind Kejriwal, has he been given a clean chit? Manish Sisodia, has he been given a clean chit? Has Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi, have they been given a clean chit in the National Herald scam? No. Has Abhishek Banerjee been given a clean chit? Actually, the Supreme Court fined him for wasting the court's time. You know, has Vaibhav Gehlot been given a clean chit by the courts? No. Has Bhupesh Baghel, the former Congress CM of Chhattisgarh, been given a clean chit? No. Being out on bail does not mean that you have been declared innocent by the court. All these leaders who are being probed by the Enforcement Directorate are simply out on bail. No, Preeti, you have to give me 10 seconds more. Can I please take 10 seconds more? I just want to say one thing. When the SSC recruitment scam broke out, naming Partha Chatterjee, the then education minister under Mamata Banerjee, she said, Partha Chatterjee to doodh se dhule hue hain. Finally, Partha Chatterjee was convicted.
And the party
out on
Sir, don't talk over each other, please. I'll give you your time.
This is not fair.
Let him. You have 10 seconds, ma'am. Can I just get Sanju Verma? Make your point, Sanju Verma.
Partha Chatterjee out on bail in SSC recruitment scam. Anubrata Mandal, senior TMC leader, out on bail in the cattle smuggling scam. Mamata Banerjee's own nephew, Abhishek Banerjee, out on bail in the teacher recruitment scam. And
all right, I'm running out of time, ma'am.
2 seconds. 2 seconds. I demand through your show that under section 238 and 241 of the Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita for decamping with evidence, destroying electronic evidence, and obstructing public personnel, Mamata Banerjee should be arrested.
Ma'am, the case is in court tomorrow. The case is in court. I want to bring in Mohammed Saleem. You name all the leaders who've been raided, and the cases are still open. But once again, when it comes down to conviction, once again, I'm just quoting facts, where politicians, opposition politicians are concerned, it's abysmal. It's a 3% conviction of the ED. But again, these are just facts. Mohammed Saleem, final comments.
Whether the ED has filed an FIR against Mamata Banerjee and the police commissioner of both Calcutta and Bidhannagar, who obstructed this because they're discharging their own duties? No. Secondly, you're talking about Abhishek Banerjee, Sanju Verma, but why his premises was not raided, even when 300 crores was seized for lifts and bounds company, but they could not. And then the question is, all these culprits are now outside, even in coal scam, even in cattle smuggling case, even in this Anubrata's case, even in the teacher scam case, because ED and CBI with high drama, they build up this, but they failed to collect evidence and prove it and prosecute it.
They have not been declared innocent,
we'll find out. Now also, today,
They're all on
after
trial.
these 8 hours, why
All
FIR
these
was
people
not
are
lodged?
still on.
It should have
Okay,
been
fair
lodged again. What Mamata did is a blatantly illegal thing. Then it is government file. Why government file was there inside this Pratik Jain's case? Pratik Jain may be a client, maybe a master of the TMC, maybe a consultant.
fair
But why
point.
government files? You have seen the government
Niladri
files are there.
Bhattacharya ji, final
Because
comments. I
in
need
the
to take a break
FIR
there.
case,
Go ahead.
no, in the election
Preeti, please
corruption
understand.
case, these
Mr.
consultancy
Saleh, hold
companies
on.
are
Fair
Preeti,
point,
please
sir.
mercenaries.
understand.
They are mercenaries.
2013
They are not
Sarada case came.
consultants now.
So we
Till
said
today,
all consultants are political mercenaries. Go ahead, make your point.
all this. Preeti, from 2013, 14, this political bickering has started. And till now, in none of the cases, either the CBI or the ED has filed the final charge sheet. They just want to linger and keep the issue open. And as far as Vijay Madanlal Chaudhary is concerned, in the 2023 judgment, that judgment has been watered down by subsequent judgments of the Supreme Court. ED and CBI don't want to close the case. They are not interested in investigating. They're only interested in flogging a dead horse because they want to keep these issues alive for elections. There's no charge sheet.
Okay.
And as far the conviction rate of ED is concerned,
Okay.
it is
Lying
less
on
than
national
2%.
television.
All right, I'm
Yes,
gonna leave.
and I'm speaking facts. I'm
Okay, I'm going
speaking
to leave it
facts,
be.
Sanju
Okay,
Verma,
thank
man, I'm
you.
speaking
I
facts
appreciate
because
all four of you for taking the time out and joining us. The issue's not over. Tomorrow is another day. We'd love to have you back.